So the next building block that we're going to talk to, now that you've decided which product you're going to be using or which product line you're going to be using to sell your coating, is going to be your website, okay? Just put it right here in the middle. Now I just want to go over some website basics here that are going to have a lot to do with the amount of ceramic coatings you sell. First of all, your website does not have to be perfect. I've used a Wix site that I designed myself for many years, and it's worked really, really well for me. I've sold tens of thousands of dollars plus just off of the website. It does not have to have your life story. It does not have to be super professionally designed. What you want to do is make sure that your grammar is correct. It helps to spell grammar correctly. Make sure your grammar is correct. Make sure your sentences are spaced correctly. Make sure you're not droning on about yourself. You want to talk about what you are offering to the clients through your website. And you want to make sure your website is very simple, meaning 5 or 6 pages at the most. You want to make sure that it's easy to navigate and they can very clearly get from one page to the other. Now, this seems like really simple stuff, but there's a lot of people that break these indelible laws many times over again, and they're just all over the place with their websites. They're all over the place with the content on their websites, and it's confusing. One of the things you want to talk about is the top page. And that is the very first thing they see whenever they go to a website. Meaning, let's say they've got a cell phone, okay? You're going to have like this very first page here. Before they scroll down at all, you've got to grab them in that very first page. So what I do is that I have phone number, sayings of what I do, ceramic coating, paint correction, meticulous detailing. I have like a small little logo, email address, and then I have like either you put your contact form or a very engaging 50-50 picture. I prefer the contact form because there's a lot of people that, let's say they're looking for someone to do a ceramic coating for them. The first thing I want them to see is my contact form because that's the most important thing for me. It matters absolutely nothing if they spend 6 hours on my website going through the content and reading all the information if they don't fill out a contact form or they don't call me themselves or email me or whatever. If they don't come get in contact with me, if they don't transition from a prospect to a lead, that's a problem. So I've got to make sure that I've got that contact form right out in front of them. One of the other mistakes that a lot of people do is that they ask way too much within their contact form. Things that you have to have in the contact form is at least one means to contact them back. Meaning, one of the required fields should be, I prefer email. I don't require that they give me an address and a phone number and all that, simply because people nowadays have become very suspicious of that. And they don't want to give out that sort of information in an email because they're afraid of getting spammed. They're afraid that you're going to go crazy and they don't know you from Adam. So I set it up to where they can give me more information about themselves. They can give me a phone number. I prefer a phone number, but if they have to only give me one means of contacting them, I'll take email all day long, because that's how you open the door of communication. One thing you have to understand is that not every lead is going to translate into a sale. It's your job, once the prospective client becomes a lead, to convert them into a client, but not every single one of these contacts that comes in communication with you is going to turn into a sale. It's something you're going to have to face. It's something you are going to have to accept, is that some of these people, you're going to correspond with them, you're going to go back and forth, you're going to give them all the right information, you're going to have the right tone, you're going to be super friendly, you're going to be super helpful, you're going to have a good sales process, but they're not all going to become leads. Just accept it. It's part of digital sales. Some people have a vision in their mind about what they're going to pay or what they're going to get for their money, and if you're not exactly what they think it's going to be, meaning they think a ceramic coating is going to cost $300 for something that has a lifetime warranty or whatever, then they're just not going to go for it because it doesn't meet their expectations, and they're just not going to bounce on it. So I don't want you to get upset by that. When we also talk about the website, let's talk about simple SEO. That is search engine optimization. Meaning you want your website to be friendly whenever it comes to Google and being found on search engines. Now, if you have a website like Wix or WordPress, or even some of the other websites out there where you can make your own websites, like Wix has an SEO guide that if you follow it and you go through all the steps that it says to, you're going to rank pretty good unless you're in a very competitive area. What you have to do on top of any sort of SEO guide is one of the biggest things they're looking for nowadays in a website is that it loads quickly. And one of the things that trips most people up is the size of the pictures on their website. There is a website, just Google website speed test, and it will test the speed of your website with how quick it loads on mobile devices, because almost all searches are being done by mobile devices. It's like 70+% nowadays. So you've got to make sure that your website shows up correctly on mobile devices and that it loads quickly on mobile devices. And it'll actually tell you how much your pictures, the size of them, needs to be reduced in order to load correctly on mobile devices and show up well. Having the right file size and having your website load quickly, as long as you're doing basic due diligence about making sure you have the right keywords, meta tags, and things of that sort, which which are like the names of your pages, things of that sort. Size and loading speed is one of the biggest attributes that Google is looking for nowadays. If you do your due diligence of SEO, like just the basic stuff, and you have the correct file size, so for your pictures and your media, so it loads quickly, you will rank pretty good in Google. And if you're in a really small market, you could rank excellent in Google. Like you could be the first or second selection for your city. Because most people, when it comes to a website, are very, very lazy. They want to do it fast and easy. So they'll spend 4 hours throwing a website together, they'll publish it so it's live on the internet, and then they're done. And then they wonder why 2 weeks later they're not getting any business from their website. Yes, you could always spend money on Google AdWords and pay to be the top result for an area, and there's nothing wrong with that. I do a lot of Google AdWords actually at certain times of the year and when I'm wanting to push certain things. But for the most part, if you get the right SEO out there, that is going to reduce your ad cost significantly. And if you get ranked high enough in enough search terms local to you, then you can still do the Google AdWords, and it's not going to be throwing money away, but you're going to be getting really good traffic to your website and qualified leads to your website just from the search engine optimization that you've done for your website. So your website is going to be a key in creating and building sales of ceramic coatings for your business. We live in a digital world. People love to shop online. They love to research online. They love to look online when they're looking for a product and service. And high-end detailing and ceramic coatings are no exception at all. You have got to be present in the digital world if you're going to be successful at this. People have got to be able to find you. If they can't find you, you've got major problems. You've got major issues, and you're not going to last long, especially if you're new, if you're in a competitive market, and it's going to be very slow for you if you do not have a somewhat SEO optimized website and you have something simple, good grammar, a good top page, and something that is simple to understand. The goal of this website is not to sell your products or services for you, but to transfer these people into leads so that you can personally take over the sales process. Now, in a perfect world, you want people to translate from your website to your media sources, Facebook, YouTube, stuff like that. And then they become a lead that is already mostly pre-sold, meaning they've been into you, okay? They've been watching your videos, looking at your Facebook, they've been through your website, and then when they do become a lead and actually contact you, it's an easy sale. And I get that all the time. Hey, I've been on your YouTube page and your website and your Facebook, and I really like what you're doing. I think I want to get this done for my car. Then all it is a process of figuring out what they need, what their budget is, what the car needs, setting up an appointment for them, take a deposit, and then it's all downhill from there. The work, doing the actual detailing and coating, is usually the easy part after you've been through that entire process. But you have to be present in the digital world. You have to have a website that is set up to send you leads and to help with the sales process of your coatings in your business. I know this looks like a lot, but once you get this set up, it's basically cruise control. All you have to do is maintain it and tweak it and update it periodically and make sure you're still ranking well in the search engine world, and it's set on auto drive. But you have to put in the initial due diligence of getting this right so that once it's right and once it's set up, you can bank on this and you can basically use this as a tool for recurring leads and recurring income. But you have to have your website set up correctly in order for your ceramic coating sales to move forward in the way that they should.